Okay, I'm ready to go.
Yep. Isolation. Stay away from all the subway stations. Now's the time to limit your relations. This is info for your conservation and observation. I am at my home. I am all alone. I am at my home in isolation. Isolation. Time for practicing your masturbation. Sorry that you canceled your vacation. It's not just you, it's the whole entire nation. In isolation. I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
I am all alone.
I'm all alone.
I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
In isolation. My constipation in isolation has really helped my toilet paper situation. Should hold up depending on the duration that they keep us in isolation. I am at my home.
I'm at my home.
I am all alone.
I am all alone.
I am at my home.
I am still at my home.
I am in isolation.
In isolation.
Isolation, a conversation we should have with every single generation. The older people need a working vaccination. The younger people on a threat of decimation. I am at my home. I am all alone. I picked up the phone.
Hello.
And I said hello.
Hi.
Isolation breeds agitation. Unless you find a way to get some inspiration. Make a creation, film a claymation, or just eat chips and talk to friends while on PlayStation.
A little boy on the road. I said, hey man, you shouldn't be alone. I said, maybe you can give me a phone and then I can help you call home. You can't be more than 4'4", and I think it's about to get dark. You said I'm 36 and I think I'm okay to walk through this park. And that's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never guess an age with your eyes. And that's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never judge an age, never judge an age with your eyes. Never judge an age, never judge an age. I saw a girl the other day. I bumped into her when I was on my way. I said, little girl, let me know what brings you to the mall here all alone. She said, maybe 'cause I'm 52. I've got my whole life hating damn people like you. That's when I realized you never judge a person by the size. That's when I realized you should never guess an age with your eyes. That's when I realized you should never judge a person by the size. And that's when I realized you should never judge an age with your eyes. Never judge an age. person, never judge a person by the size. Never judge a person by the, never judge it. Never judge a person. Never judge an age. Never judge an age with your eyes.
Isolation, stay away from other subway stations. Now's the time to limit your relation. Information for your conservation and observation. Isolation, time for practicing your masturbation. Sorry that you canceled your vacation. It's not just you, it's the whole entire nation in isolation.
We believe we should confront anxiety with a clear plan to deal with its root causes.
Just before we get to questions, I'm supposed to model healthy behavior. Model healthy behavior. Nice and sunny, but a little brisk.
My constipation in isolation has really helped my toilet paper situation. Isolation.
We believe we should
I have to stay in isolation. Isolation, a conversation you should have with every single generation. The older people need a working vaccination. The younger people are afraid of this addiction.
Listen, Canada is a modest country. We know we can't solve these problems alone. We know we need to do this all together. We know it will be hard work, but we're Canadian, and we're here to help. And it's our job as your government to do justice to that compassion and to that kindness that you show to one another each and every day. We can build a better world for our kids and grandkids. This is who we are. This is what we believe in. This is Canada.
Isolation breeds agitation unless you find a way to get some inspiration. Make a creation, film a claymation, or just eat chips and talk to friends while on PlayStation. Station.
This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, Give me lyrics, for this song, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, Give me lyrics, to the song, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, no shine, no lyrics, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, no shine, no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, Give me lyrics, for this song, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, Give me lyrics, for this song,
Maybe a rap part comes in here, I'm not sure, it's not clear. Maybe it would sound weird if we don't do a rap part. Maybe we do a verse that sounds similar to the first, so it would sound like
this part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, no shine, no lyrics, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, This part is where the verse goes, shaggy, no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, This song has no lyrics, Give me lyrics for this song.
It's Wednesday, it's 8 p.m. We're not all at apartment 7-Eleven, but we are live. It's the DG Special.
On tonight's show, we've got Aisha Alpha, Chris Locke, Scott Thompson and Paul Bellini, Ollie Prazoff and Joe Wengert, and music from Ron Hawkins, featuring me, Josh Finkelman, and Dan Tamizian.
And now your host, Dan Gallia.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Dan Gallia, and this is the DG Special, and I'm super pumped to get started. We have a super fun show. Psh! That's my new background. And before we get started, we do have a very important PSA from a good friend of the show. Let's show you that first.
Hello there, it's Spuddy Cold, self-isolating at home with a good book. Like most of you, I've spent my time indoors improving myself and learning new tricks. But lately, I have to admit, as the weather has started getting nicer, it's becoming increasingly difficult to stay inside. What are you looking at? But we mustn't despair. We can't drop the ball, as they say, just as we're approaching the 37th yard line, headed for the end zone. So when things get just a little bit too much for me, I close my eyes. I go outside in my mind. Just smell that fresh air, and all of it for me. Hello. It's just a more accurate reading.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm assuming you can. I know you can. I just had to have someone allow me to start my video. That's what happens when you're doing a live stream. Things happen, man, and then you don't talk about it for too long because that's unprofessional and weird. No one wants to hear about how things happen. Anyways, welcome to the show. That was a PSA from the one and only Buddy Cole, of course. I want to bring my buddies out here. Let's get Josh and Dan. Josh and Dan, how are you?
What a great PSA that was.
That's a great PSA. I loved it. How you doing, guys?
Another day in the pandemic.
All right, tone down the energy. It's a little too much for me.
I'll bring it back. I've been cooped up inside a long time. I don't know how to act around people.
Really?
A little bit, yeah.
You seem really good at it normally.
Oh, it's all a mirage. It's magic. It's TV tricks.
What's new? What have you been up to?
I rotated everything around. I got Spider-Man and Batman behind me. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's the biggest news. What are you, Dan?
I gave myself another tattoo.
A Batman tattoo? A Spider-Man tattoo?
So for those of you that don't know, let me just go ahead and say this. Dan's been self-tattooing a little bit. He gave himself a pretty cool, pretty accurate triangle on his...
Very straight lined.
Good equal level triangle.
Had no problems with it, right?
No infections. It's healing up good. Pretty proud of myself. But I got
Cool.
a new one. I did it yesterday. Yeah, it's pretty good too.
Where's the new one?
Here, I'll show you.
Okay, what is it?
Oh,
microphone?
wow.
Is that a microphone?
Bullseye.
It's some ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
That's awesome.
I spent the week teaching myself how to read and write ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, and then I wrote something on myself.
The best part about that is even if you're wrong, like who's gonna know?
That's what I
You know what I
figured.
mean? Like who speaks ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics?
Yeah, maybe one person in my life will be like, you don't want to know what that actually says.
Also, doing that also sounds really productive, but it's like, I don't know if that's productive. You're like, I taught myself a few hieroglyphs this week. I know I wasn't doing that before this virus.
It was fun. I had a great time.
I think the bar for productivity is very low during these times.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
If it keeps you busy, it's productive.
Something that's been happening around me is a lot of people, I think, have started to just talk to each other from the street into their friends' places in the building. So like today I heard a really funny conversation that was just like a lady yelling up to her friend, and it was like a call, like a phone call. Like she was like, I don't know how much longer I can stay. It was just like, there's an echo down here. And she was just like, the conversation was so funny. Like it was just like about the whole conversation was about the conversation. You know, like it was like, look at us. Look how we're doing this. At
least yours was
for so long.
At least yours was two people.
Yeah.
I had a guy yelling at a dog yesterday. I have a yipey dog downstairs, like one apartment over, and middle of the afternoon yesterday, yiping away, which I've gotten used to. And all of a sudden I hear the old man who lives next door to me going, hello, 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 like over the side of his balcony. And so I leaned out and he was like, they won't make the dogs. And I was like, I kind of looked at him. I think he was trying to enlist me in the effort. And I just went, good luck. Right back inside. This is a lost cause.
So for those of you that don't know the show, if it's your first time watching, Josh is the voice of the show online. So if you're talking to someone who seems like they know what they're talking about and you're online, you're probably talking to Josh. You can talk through Josh. If you have a question or you want us to address something or you notice something's off, you can tell Josh and maybe he'll pass it on. That's the show. It's interactive. We're live. Dan Tamizian over there, he's the guy behind the switches. He's the guy that's going to be changing the cameras. He's the guy that's telling everyone to get ready. And thank you so much for doing that, guys. The show wouldn't run without you at all. Also, we do have donations you can give to the show. Josh will share that link. And if you want to buy the show a coffee. However, you know what? If you don't want to do it because you don't have money or you don't want to give your money away right now, totally understand. But something you could do that would really help the show out is you could give us a share. So whether you're on Twitch, maybe you could host our show. If you're on Twitter, you can give us a retweet. If you're on Facebook, you can share the live stream. And that would just go such a long way for us because the main reason we're doing this is to make people watch it and be happy. That's all I want. So if you can do that, that makes me happy. And thank you in advance for anybody that is doing that. So let's get the show started. I'm actually super pumped about our first segment. Josh actually has a podcast, and I thought, you know what? Let's put some of those interviewing skills to the test, and let's give him his own segment. So, ladies and gentlemen.
This is very exciting. I never get my own segment. This is a first. So thanks for being here with me, guys. I'd like to welcome you to the inaugural episode of On the Phone with Josh Finkelman. That's me. And you're never going to believe the guest that Dan managed to pull down for us to interview today. He's on the phone. I don't want to waste any more of his time. He's very busy. Everybody in your homes, give a big round of applause and a welcome to Dr. Phil. Yes.
Hello.
Do I call you doctor?
Hey, am I frozen?
Oh, that's something. Oh, something. Yeah, something's weird there.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
Are you having some technical difficulties? No, it's a
Is
little
that better.
No, it might be worse.
I gotta say, I'm getting pretty good at these Zoom calls.
I mean, we may have different definitions of pretty good, Dr. Phil, but we're really happy to have you here. It's not often. Are you sure everything's okay over there?
Everything seems to be working. Okay.
No, that's okay. That's weird. Are you and your girl? You know what? We'll
on.
power through. I'm sure it'll fit. Oh, wait, it might.
Let's
Okay,
just
you know what?
move on with the interview. I'll keep fiddling.
Or you fiddle and I'll ask questions. So I think it's really fortunate for us to have a medical doctor on the show during these sort of crisis times. So I thought it would be a really great time to start off with our first question. What's Oprah like?
Oprah's a peach. Me and her get along really well. One thing about Oprah that you might not know is she's super afraid of any kind of fruit.
Like an apple?
If you're eating an apple, Oprah will run.
I've never heard that. Is it like a sound thing?
I'm not sure. I never got into it with her. I just know I was eating a fruit salad one day on the Dr. Phil show, and she tried to surprise me. And when she saw what I was eating, she just bolted. And I ran after her and she was screaming, and I didn't know it was the fruit salad that was making her run. And when I got outside, she almost got hit by a car running away. She crossed the street. And when I was there, finally, I yelled across the street and I just said, "Hey, Oprah, why are you running from Dr. Phil?" And she said, I'm deathly afraid of fruit.
And were you carrying the fruit salad with you?
I lit the fruit. I had some paper and a lighter on me. So I demonstrated my obedience to Oprah, and I lit the fruit on fire right there in front of her.
I would have to imagine that would probably fix the problem.
She came back.
I mean, you know what? You're a problem solver. That's what you're known for, Dr. Phil.
I appreciate it.
No, I'm just calling it like I see it. You've been on the news a little bit lately. Do you have how's that experience been for you? The public outcry, I guess. You've given some advice.
Yeah, it's funny when you're on the news a bunch, you find you start doing these things and you figure out little tricks, right? And one of the tricks I figured out was you never want to disagree with the person whose show you're on. So if, for instance, you're on a show and somebody doesn't think you should be isolating, you say you don't think that you should be isolating. And that way there's no disagreements or confrontations.
But that seems, isn't that, you're a doctor though, Dr. Phil. I mean, it's right there in the name.
That's right. I went to veterinary school for 4 years, and it was only a 2-year program.
I'm sorry. Let's, you know what? Let's try. Can we go back to that for just, did you say veterinary school?
That's right.
What kind of animals?
All types of animals, as long as they're not exotic.
So you draw the line at okay. So, but how does that work with your show?
A lot of people say, "Dr. Phil, how are you allowed to give advice when all you've done is gone to veterinary school?" And to them, I have this answer. You can basically imagine any problem mentally as an animal. And once you do that, it's all about dissecting that animal, aka the problem.
I mean, I don't even know how to. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable way to do it, I guess. You are the expert.
And plus, I learned a lot in veterinary school.
I mean, it sounds like it.
You can't pay for cat food with dog money.
I can't argue with that. That's solid logic, I guess.
You can't bake a pie with a bag of potatoes. Unless it's a potato pie, and you'd still need the crust.
I mean, these are true. I don't know. I can't argue with you.
If you have any other questions for me, because I'm actually pretty tired. I took the dog for a 5-hour walk.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll get you out of here on this one. I was reading about you today, and I learned something about your wife, Robin. She's terrible at keeping secrets. It appears. Is there like a particularly big secret that she's blown in the past?
Well, I used to actually wear a suit in the shower.
While shower, like with the water?
Well, the idea was if I got dressed before the shower, I could just run out to the show and dry off on the way there.
And she spoiled that secret for you?
Well, I guess we both did. I did show up drenched a couple times. and it was hard to explain, but Robin wasn't trying to make excuses.
I mean, that seems reasonable.
Okay, listen, my dog's peeing on some plants over here. I'm going to throw out this plant and just kind of tell this dog how it is, okay?
I think you should. That sounds like your area of expertise. Thank
Nice
you so
talking
much.
to you. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks so much for being on the show, Dr. Phil. That was I think that was a pretty good outing. I think that was a pretty great outing, and I'm happy about it. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Dan, oh, there you are.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Where's Dr. Phil?
He had a dog. There was a dog eating a plant. Yeah, I thought this was just my segment. I didn't know I had to keep him here. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I mean, why would I want to talk to Dr. Phil? Actually, you know what? Just get out of here.
You know what? I will. Thank you so much.
I guess good job, Josh.
I guess so too.
It was a good job. Give it up for Josh, everybody. I mean, Dr. Phil seemed like a bit of a wild card. So, yeah, you know what? We better start the show. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start the show with someone that knows what they're talking about. Unlike Dr. Phil, give it up for the one, the only, Aisha Alpha.
Hey, y'all. Actually, Aisha couldn't be here today, so it's me, Tammy Lynn Ray. And was that Dr. Phil? Oh my goodness, guys, he is my ultimate, I would get on my knees, if you know what I'm saying, to pray with him. He is good. Oh, he looks good. So I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all, because I know everybody's going through a lot of stuff right now with this COVID-19, COVID-19, this hoax that everyone's putting out there of why we can't leave our houses. But let me just tell you what, there's a lot of bad things, obviously, about this and things going on because nobody wants to go outside. But there's a couple of good things. So I thought maybe I'll just share with y'all some good things, some silver linings that the good God above has given us in this time when we're all at home. Okay. So I just want to get everyone, squeeze a little sanitizer on your hands and put those hands together in prayer, big man upstairs. And let's go through my top 10 list of fun things that are happening because of COVID. Okay. Number 10. Okay. In the list, you can learn new skills. I mean, I saw earlier on this show, even that Dan, what's his name, sounded something ethnic or whatnot. He was learning how to do some kind of home tattoos. And I'll tell you what, that leg looked good, brother. Chomp, chomp, chomp. I'd eat you like a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I'll tell you what I've been doing. Okay. So I gave myself a home Brazilian just yesterday. Okay. It's been bleeding since then, but it is smooth as a baby's butt if that baby's butt had cuts and was bleeding. But I'll tell you, I'm going to be sexy when this is done. Also got certified as a professional life coach. Okay, so I'm hoping to take after Dr. Phil, make myself a potato pie with the potatoes in that crust. Okay, so number 9, you're wearing face masks all the dang time. Now that might be hard for you. For me, it's smear my lipstick, but I'll tell you one thing that's real good about that. I got some bad halitosis. Now that's just a fancy ass word for mama couldn't keep her teeth clean as an adult and the back ones are all rotten. Okay. They're just like a bunch of raisins stuck back there. But, it's real stanky. Oh, I'm glad you guys are on a Zoom and not in person because this could be lethal. But when you have a face mask on, I can talk to whomever I'd like now because they can't even smell my halitosis. It's delightful. I'll tell you what. Number 8 on the list, everyone's out of work. Okay. So all y'all calling me lazy all this time, saying you're taking money from the government and you're not even looking for work. Well, what are you doing right now, huh? What you doing? Sitting on the couch? What else? You watching Netflix? What else you doing, huh? You looking for a job? Didn't think so, because there ain't no jobs to be had, okay? So it's an equalizer is what I'm trying to say. It's a nice equalizer, this being out of work, everybody. What are we at now? Number 7. Okay, well, number 7, you don't have to wear no clothes during the day or the night. I mean, I was already sleeping in the nude, right? Just naked as the day I came out my mama's hoo-ha. But now, all of a sudden, I could be doing that all day long. Who's going to stop me? Huh? I mean, I used to walk out every once in a while, and sure, Tammy Lynn Ray would sometimes forget to put her pants on, sometimes forget to put her knickers on. She'd just be out there, stark buns, just flapping in the wind and the sunshine. Okay, but now that happens, no problem. No one's going to see. I'm sitting in my living room, just naked, my butt suctioning to my leather couches. Good thing it's not hot because I got the air conditioning working again. But I'll tell you what, it feels real good. Just be free as a bird. Are birds wearing clothes? No, didn't think so. Okay, good. Number 6, cute delivery guy. Oh my goodness. Can I just tell you what? There is a new restaurant open up down the street from my house, right? And they serve this vegan food. But the guy who delivers it, my goodness, that he is not Jason Momoa if he were more Christian. Okay. I could just climb right up him and just wrap my legs around him like he was a big old tree trunk and I was a bear trying to get away from him. I don't know, something like a hunter. But he is cute. And I just keep on ordering these bean salads and all these kinds of shit because I want to see his face. I want to see his body. I want to see him walk away. Okay. And don't you worry. I'm not wasting this food. I'm eating it. I throw it on top of a steak sandwich and I just eat those beans. Okay. Delish. Turns out I'm more vegan than I thought I was. Number 5 on the list, murder hornets. Murder. My goodness, you guys heard about these murder hornets? They flew all the way over here from Japan. Everything bad comes from that side of the world, if you ask me. But they flew all the way over there. And so if we were outside right now, we'd probably be getting stung right now. I mean, Tammy Lynn Ray did not like to get stung. I'll tell you what, because these murder hornets are just murderous and they're real big. I do not, I would scream at them. I'd probably try and, do some screaming right in their face and let them know. Good thing is I pray to Lord Jesus, God, and this Holy Spirit and all of them up above, so they probably won't get me because I got myself a force field. But just thank your lucky stars that the COVID happened at the same time that those Japanese assholes flew themselves over that ocean to come and attack us, okay? Number 4 on that list, Tiger King. You think y'all would have been watching Tiger King if it weren't for the COVID and the lockdown? Oh my goodness, I'm just telling you, those big old cats, they was cute as hell, wasn't they? Huh? And Joe Exotic, I mean, he may have done a few things wrong, but I'm on his side, okay? He came from nothing, and he's the real trailblazer, okay? He's hiring all those people, just came out of jail, and he's doing all kinds of things with these big old cats. So just love them, and you got to have goals. So I think it's doing a good thing, giving people a way to make some goals out there. Get yourself a big old cat, you're good, okay? You're going to be like a Shaquille O'Neal, that basketball player. Okay, so that's Tiger King. What else we got? Oh, right, no conversations with your neighbors. Now, let me tell you what. Okay, my neighbors, they are just crazy people, okay? I mean, I know exactly what they do all day because I never had a job. I've never been working, sure, so I'm watching them. But let me just say, next to me, I think the guy's a serial killer. Okay, because one time, he's nice as pie, but aren't they all? Does anyone ever say, oh, I knew he was a serial killer? No, they're always like, I didn't know. He was the nicest person I ever met. Now, this guy's just nice as a ponytail in the wind. But I'll tell you what, one time I went in the elevator with him, going down, and I was talking to him, how you doing? How's your day going? How the kids? And this guy just closed his eyes and just sat there in silence the whole way down. Now, if that's not a serial killer, I don't know what is. Okay, that's a guy on one side of me. Other side, a black. And I'm talking a full black, not just like me, okay? I'm talking I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, if you know what I'm saying. Praise Jesus, okay? Number 2 on the list, no more DUIs for me, okay? Tammy Lynn Ray done had enough of those DUIs. I got nowhere to go, so I'm, able to just do my thing, stay in my home. Those police leave me the hell alone. Thank you, baby Jesus. And of course, the last one on the list is nobody knows what time you start drinking. Now, that's not a champagne. I'm not some sort of fancy princess. This is just myself a good old Labatt Blue poured into a fancy ass glass. Okay, like I like to say, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay, well, it's past 5 o'clock here, but also this is my 14th one. So all I'm trying to say is everybody just praise the Lord Jesus. We all going to get through this together, okay? And just look on the bright side. If you guys are looking for a little more help, you can call me anytime. TammyLynnRayDoesLive.com. You just click on that Jesus sign of him with his sanitizer on his hands, and you'll come right to my website for my new life coaching, career. Okay, cheers, y'all. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
hi.
Wow, I didn't know we'd have so many Southerners on the show.
I mean, this is just wonderful. The internet just connects us all, doesn't it? Jesus, oh my God, that's just God at work.
Wow, that was great. Thanks so much for doing the show.
Oh, thanks for having me on, y'all. It's so good to connect with my Canadians.
And you're doing okay over there?
I'm trying to stay away from these damn neighbors because they nosy as hell, right? They've been knocking on the door asking why my tits are flying everywhere. I do only have windows with no covering, so they're really upset. But you just gotta believe in God and hope.
I feel bad because I introed Aisha Alpha and then you showed up. But
Oh,
you guys know each other at least, right?
Oh, that dirty little whore.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know her.
Didn't
She's
she
my
just
cousin.
didn't her stand-up special just come out or something like that?
Yeah, she's got one of those. She's got a what do they call it? A comedy album that's coming out. Oh, she's produced by some big all things comedy with Big. What is his name? Big Burr. Big Burr.
Yeah, I think it's Big Burr.
Big Burr, that guy who's real funny at some people. But
What's
you
it
know what?
called?
It's called All the Parts. You know what some of her parts aren't? She doesn't pray to Jesus. But I mean, if you're a heathen, I guess you probably gonna like it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I like Aisha a lot, and I'm going to cut you off right there. So,
Oh well, you
yeah.
will.
Thanks for doing the show, but
safe.
Aisha Alpha is the best. So,
It's
peace.
big guy upstairs.
Peace. Wow. Did not expect that. Didn't know she was going to be on the show. Really thought Aisha was going to be on the show. But you know what? She did fine until the end when she was not so nice. Listen, we're just going to keep the show going. That rattled me. I'm not going to lie, but this won't rattle me because we need to hear this perspective. And I think now's the time to bring out 3 gym teachers.
Hey.
Hey.
Dan.
Hey Dan, can you see us and can you hear
see
us?
us, all 3 of us?
Yeah, we're 3 brothers.
Can you see all 3 of us?
I can.
great. I'm Tommy. This is Teddy.
Hello.
And this is our brother Donnie.
Yeah, we're all 3 gym teachers. We work for the same school district.
But different schools.
Yeah, don't be crazy. The school I work at is Gerwig Elementary.
And I'm at Our Lady of Lady Bird. And Donnie, you want to tell them what school you work at?
Yeah,
You want to tell them
Donnie.
your school you work at?
Donnie.
Donnie's on a lot of party drugs right now, so
Yeah.
he's not going to probably participate as much as we'd like.
He's
but that's
also
okay.
very private. He's a very private person, you know?
He's very private.
Yeah, so we're gym teachers. I think we covered that.
We covered that.
And we're not doing the gym stuff right now.
We're not teaching in school right now. We're sheltering in place.
Yeah, we have to stay at home right now. So,
And we're all 3 of us living together because we're 3 brothers and we live together with our 2 dads. Did we mention that?
We have 2 dads, yeah. One of our dads is named Dada and one of our dads is named Papa.
And we're home with them. And why are we here today? Tell them why we're
hold
really
on
here
one
today.
second. Donnie, who do you like better? Dada or Papa?
If you had to choose, gun to your head, Donnie,
Yeah.
who do you like better?
Dada or
Papa or Dada?
Okay, this guy's nuts.
I told you, he's out of his mind right now.
Okay, you go
So-
trip out over there, Donnie, okay? Go
So what
trip
are
out
we
over
here
there.
for today, Teddy?
Yeah, here's why we're here. Okay, we're gym teachers and we love gym. We love teaching gym. And we feel like because of COVID-19, we're kind of getting the short end of the stick,
People are acting like gym isn't important.
A lot of superintendents at the school districts, they're not making gym an important part of sort of the online lessons for children,
They're putting reading, math, all the other, whatever the other ones are, and then gym is nowhere to be found.
No, and we're saying that's impossible. Gym should be your number 1. Gym can be and should be taught on a Zoom.
So we're setting the example right now by doing gym. And what we're doing is we're doing gym from home.
Yeah, and we're teaching
On
our
Zoom.
students all the gym classes from home on the Zoom.
Oh, wow. How are you doing that? How are you teaching gym classes over Zoom?
I'm glad
It feels like
asked
it's pretty
that.
frustrating,
I'm glad you
apparently.
asked that.
So glad.
Here's the key. You modify your lesson plan.
You modify it. You boil it down to the essence. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
So think about something you normally do in a gym class. Let's say dodgeball.
Dodgeball is one. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like for us, we went and we thought and we were like, what's the essence of dodgeball? What is it?
Yeah.
And this is what I just told my students. I said, hey, everybody, just stay at home and punch yourself in the nuts or in the tits.
And you're getting everything you would learn from dodgeball because that's the lesson that you learn from it. And it's good. The good thing about this is bad. What's happening? Obviously, it's bad. But in some ways, it's helping us cut the fat. Because originally, I told my students, you got to stay at home and you got to get one of those big red dodgeball balls and hit yourself in the nuts or the chest with the big red dodgeball ball. But a lot of the kids said, I can't find the big red dodgeball ball. But my brother is a genius. He said, get rid of the ball.
I've never seen one at a store. Have you, Dan?
Never seen a dodgeball at a store, no.
No, they're red, they're bouncy, they're great, but they're not for sale.
They're not, the schools must have a deal with the dodgeball, big red dodgeball ball manufacturer.
There must be a special school
We'll get
thing.
into that conspiracy on the next time you have us on.
Another sport.
Yeah, another sport is, of course, rope climbing. That's part of gym.
Now, we had some logistical issues there because we found out a lot of our kids don't have a big rope drilled into the ceiling of their
Probably
home.
no one, yeah.
Well, and that leads me to ask a
close
lot
to
of
no one.
questions. Yeah, close to no one. Because you're thinking, what a boring house you must have. You know what I mean? So again, we went down and we boiled it. We boiled it
To
in a
the
big
essence
pot,
of the sport.
to the essence of the sport. And we thought, what's the number one thing about rope climbing? Humiliation. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not going to get that far. No one actually does. So what I told my students to do, I just said, stay home, of course, shelter in place, look in the mirror, and say bad things about yourself to yourself.
Are you okay, Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie, are
We just
you
want to
okay?
check with you. Are
Donnie?
you okay?
Donnie, are you okay over there, Donnie?
This is
Donnie.
he gets-
This is typical
This
Donnie.
is it's this time of day. This is how we get. You know, what I think with rope climbing, it's a great way to get the parents involved. The
Yes.
parents, they're the boots on the ground for us teachers right now. So we say, hey, go into the bathroom while your kid's looking in the mirror. Just giggle or sort of snicker behind them, or maybe you break them down and insult them. You know them better than anyone. You could probably be accurate, and you can help recreate the rope climbing experience. So that's a sport. What's another? Oh, you know what's a sport that we hit on that was tough?
Yeah,
Basketball.
it was a tough sport.
What a tough coconut
You know,
to
we
crack.
decided it's just impossible.
How
can't-
can you do
can't-
basketball
how do you
by
play
yourself?
it?
It's an
I don't-
impossibility.
you can't
There's
do
no
it.
way to recreate any part of the basketball, the sport experience at home. There's no way.
Well, you could actually, you could like have kids shoot paper balls into like a peach basket or like a trash can or something, right?
Okay, well, actually, that's
Wow.
very good.
Wow.
I got to give it to you there,
Yeah.
Dan. 'Cause
That's
we
what I'm
didn't get
saying.
to that.
Yeah.
And what we did, because it's on the curriculum, I'll tell you what I did if I'm going to be honest.
We
I'd
are
love to
moving
hear
on this year.
your
I
version.
told my kids, I said, what you should do, get together with 10 other kids, split into two smaller groups of 5 kids, play full court basketball. That was
Yeah.
my sort of workaround.
You know, when I was like, one set, take off your shirts, you're the shirts. One,
Uh-huh.
and one
one
you're
do
the
shirts,
skin.
one do skin.
And I told my kids, I said, if you really want to get an accurate kind of basketball feel, you invite 25 of your unmasked friends
Uh-huh.
to play in a closer sort of area.
Can't be in an open field.
Make
Gotta
it
be
yeah,
inside.
indoors, and have
A
them
lot of
cheer for
air
you.
conditioning if possible.
Yeah, have them
Um,
cheer for you, and that's how you get the real basketball experience over Zoom.
Right, but then that's probably not allowed right now under social distancing, right?
Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
What?
Here we go.
Okay.
Here comes another entertainment elite telling us that we can't do that. The gym doesn't matter. Gym matters.
It matters,
okay?
What are you? Next thing you're gonna tell me that I can't be telling my students that they can meet in person in a small room to practice all their square dancing routines.
And before you jump in on this, Dan, know that we have, of course, modified square dancing for the COVID world. So number one rule of new square dancing, no kissies, okay?
No kissies while you're dancing. Now, if
Good
two
rule.
students find a connection while they're dancing and they want to do kissies after they're dancing, well, I can't stop them, okay?
We're not in control of
No,
it. Music,
can't.
body touching, anything can happen.
Okay, listen, you're telling me that you're telling groups of young kids to get together and dance with each other and maybe kiss after.
You win your rules. And the
Here
next thing, you know what you're going to tell me? That we shouldn't be encouraging the kids to play a sport we invented called cough ball.
Tell them how cough ball works, Betty.
Yeah, here's how cough ball works. You take a ball, any type of ball, okay? And
Okay.
you get one kid to cough on it. Okay?
And then the other kids all try to lick the ball.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the most droplets on their tongue, that's the winner. You're going to tell us they can't do that?
You're going to tell us that?
You know who you sound like? You sound like our school superintendent who called us at the beginning of this and said, hey, guys, I'm sorry. You're just not going to be able to teach gym. It's just not logistically possible. And we're worried about your health and the health of the kids. but also we care about you. So just stay at home and we'll pay you because we love you and you're an important part of our community. We hate that guy.
We hate that guy. And
Why?
You know what? We hate you, Dan.
We hate
No.
you, Dan.
We hate you.
I'm telling my dad.
I'm gonna go tell my dad on
Don't
you.
tell your dad.
Dada.
What?
Papa.
Papa.
Okay, guys.
Dad.
A lot of those ideas
Come
felt
in here, help
dangerous,
Daddy.
and
Daddy.
I don't
Come and
think,
help us here.
Daddies.
honestly, the cough ball
Dan.
was
Are
the
you
worst one.
Dan.
Dan? Are you Dan?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan.
Hi,
Well,
I'm
we're
Papa.
and I'm Daddy, and we're supposed to
Oh, the
yell at you,
resemblance.
but instead we wanted to say, "Please help us."
Please help us, Dan.
We're inside the house with our 3 adult sons, and they're terrible.
Oh God, they keep trying to make us play cough ball.
Yes, and oh, Dan.
What do you want me
have
to?
us very what?
What am I supposed to do? I don't control the coronavirus outbreak.
Oh, that's good to know.
I hate to interrupt you as you're telling us something important, but it looks like our 3 adult sons are playing dodgeball in the house right now.
Which basically means they're punching themselves in the nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're worried about them, but also worried about us, Dan.
And also, we're worried about you, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, please come help us.
But also, thank you for having us on your show.
But also help us, Dan.
But also,
Okay.
yes, please.
No.
Help us.
Listen, tell them thanks for being on the show. And I honestly, if I can do anything, I'll try. I mean,
What?
They don't like you, Dan.
You're breaking up, Dan. What?
okay.
Should I mute my
Yeah,
video?
how do I do the video part?
Will you mute the video?
You gonna do it, Dan?
Okay.
This is our son's computer.
Oh, we've never been on one.
Oh man, I didn't sign up for this. I don't know what kind of computer you have. I'm sorry.
I've logged off. I've logged off.
Okay, you haven't.
Boy.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go. And they are actually gone. That was not what I expected. I really thought they had something they needed to say, and I thought that it was important. And don't do any of the things that they said to do. Please, for the love of God. To try to forget about all those suggestions, let's just move on, shall we? And what better way to move on than to move on to one of my favorites? Give it up for Chris Locke. See you, Chris.
Hi. Okay, see you later. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you. How's everybody doing? Man, what the fuck, eh? COVID-19, what the hell? This sucks. I'm gonna kill myself. This sucks. I hate it. Trapped in hell, am I right, guys? Prison planet. What the hell? This sucks. I hate it. But you know what? I was thinking in regards to COVID-19, I was thinking, I bet a few years from now, at least when this is all past, we'll look back on all this and not laugh. Cool. So, also, self-distancing is hard. Makes us feel nuts, right? I hate it. It sucks. The other day I'm in the park, for my daily walk, and this woman's like, staying like 10 feet away from me, like super far. And I go, yeah, I know, social distancing, right? And she goes, no, you stink like shit. All right. And then I see this other guy sitting on a bench, this guy, and he's like, I'm freaking out over here, like COVID-19, man, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. What's going on? It's not good. It's bad. And I know that. I see this guy sitting on a bench, and he's sitting there on the bench eating a full sandwich with his dirty hands, no napkins, no mask, no gloves, nothing. And then he licks his fingers when he's done the sandwich. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Be careful. You're not even, no sanitizer, no nothing, And he goes, oh, COVID-19, is that what you mean? No, I'm not afraid of that. I'm only 69 years old. That thing's getting, they say in the newspaper, 70 and up. All right. Okay. I hope everybody on Facebook watching this is laughing really hard. But I'm here. I'm in this cozy little like pizza party prison with my family, my wife and my 2 girls. You know, trapped inside for most of the time with my wife and my 2 girls all the time. You know, I think I'm a good dad. You know, but it's hard, right? And my oldest girl is 4, and she's clever. She's so clever, you know. And she comes up to me the other day and she goes, "Daddy, do you have the coronavirus?" And I go, no, come on, no, don't worry, no, I don't. And she goes, "Oh, okay, well, either way, get the fuck out of here." The other day, I'm like, "Oh man, it's tough. What are we gonna do, right? This is so hard. What are we gonna do?" Anyways, I go into the ensuite bathroom. You understand? That's our own bathroom. No kids allowed. I'm in the ensuite bathroom and I'm crying my eyes out. It's emotional. I go up and down, emotions, up and down. And my 4-year-old daughter comes in and she sees me crying and I wipe the tears away. But she says this, you know, it was surprising. She goes, "Oh no, don't worry, Daddy. It's okay. Everybody is entitled to be emotional and cry every now and then. Everybody's allowed to cry, you know." And I said, "Really, sweetie? That's what you think? That's very nice." And then she goes, "No, JK, you're weak. Give me a strong dad." Am I still on? Here's a dilemma that we all share during this COVID-19 coronavirus crisis, pandemic, plandemic, according to some conspiracy theorists out there. Jeez, you want to get into a rabbit hole? Listen to this. Anyways, the other day I'm out for my daily regimented walk, okay, and I'm loving it. I'm having a good walk. I'm walking around the neighborhood here. I'm listening to nice stuff in my ears. Ram Dass, you understand? Listening to Ram Dass. Nice, kind man, whisper in my ears nice things. Anyways, I come home, and of course, as soon as I get home, I touched all these doorknobs and handles and stuff. And so I go, I got to wash my hands like crazy. I come in and I lift up the sleeves of my hoodie and start washing my hands. And then as I've cleaned my hands, I realize, oh my God, I totally forgot. I lifted up the sleeves of my hoodie with my dirty, germ-infested COVID-19 hands, the door handle hands, you know? And now I don't know what to do because my hands are clean and I don't know if the germs can travel and they walk all over my shirt. I don't know what part of my shirt to touch. So I freak. And then I call my wife in and she helps me. She's the nicest person. I'm a lucky duck, you know? She comes in and what she does is she gets a pair of scissors and she cuts up my shirt up the back like that. So it opens up and just falls to the floor so that it falls off me. I didn't have to touch it. Now it's just a dirty rag on the floor and we can pick it up with a stick or whatever. And now I'm standing in the kitchen without a shirt on. And my clever 4-year-old daughter comes in the kitchen and I don't want to freak her out. So I say, "Oh, don't worry. It's just Daddy got stuck in his shirt. Mommy was helping me get it off, you know?" And my daughter goes, "You're fat." All right. Those are the jokes I'm doing tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Honestly, Chris, thanks for doing the show. How are you?
I'm really good. Actually, I fucking love living like this.
Oh man, your daughter's so cute. You had her out before the show started, and
that was the younger one.
Yeah, I love seeing your family pics. It just looks like you guys have a nice little tight community in there.
We are having a great time. I don't want the world to go back to the way it was.
Well, kids must be loving this because like they don't really know what's happening, but they do know that the best friends in the whole world are always around now, right? So it's like a totally different perspective.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together and it's a lot of fun. We got a cozy house, we got a Nintendo Switch, we got a PS4, we got Netflix. What the hell else do you want? We got beer, we got chips.
Are you watching anything? Anything good? Want to recommend anything to the people?
Yeah, I'm watching old Star Treks. I recommend it if you haven't
Like
seen
the original series or Next Generation? Or
yeah,
what?
the original one, the red, blue, yellow, all the colors.
Nice. I did that once. I watched all those.
They're good.
They're good stories.
Yeah, they're really really smart. Those guys, doctors, scientists, captains.
I agree. I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Did you find it weird doing your stand up or doing some jokes with just silence?
Yes, because I have been doing Zoom shows, to be honest, and Twitch shows, and some shows bring in the audience live so you can hear their reaction, and then you can also see them sitting with their frumpy clothes on in like lazy boy chairs, drinking Diet Pepsi and watching you. And I've also done shows where, okay, maybe you can't hear the audience, but in a chat, everybody's writing LOL and this guy's the best. And then they're putting like laughing emojis.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Nice. Yeah,
So
I find it really weird.
I don't think your show fails that way. I think that it is, as comedians, we are creative people. We're sensitive. We have an imagination. And so I think it's good for us to perform to silence and imagine the audience reaction that we would love to have. And it might not even be human beings laughing at us. It could be whales, walruses. It could be aliens. It could be those unidentified flying objects that got released the other day. They could actually be here laughing this shrill alien scream at what we're doing right now. So I think your show is actually better for that, because then it's up to the comedian's mind to picture the world of creatures that are laughing at their amazing bits.
I totally agree. Like, in your imagination, anything can happen.
If you put your mind to it, yeah, your imagination's in there.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for doing the show. Very positive, very, very positive mentality on you. Really loving that. And yeah, I really appreciate you always doing these things for me. And, it's a hard time to be funny, kind of. So thanks for coming on and making some people laugh.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to watch the rest of the show. You're the best. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. You're great. Thank you. All right. That was Chris Locke. Yeah, let's just keep going here. We got 2 more acts on the show, and so far so good, I think. But let's not wait anymore. Let's get them right on. You might know them as Scott Thompson and Paul Bellini. That's their names. So bring them out. I know them by those names too.
Chris?
Whoa, Scott.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good.
We can bring Josh out here too, right? You guys don't mind if Josh hangs out.
Sure, Josh, come on in. It's your show.
Nope.
It's your show.
There it is.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, guys?
Okay, I'm wearing your beard on my head. Look at that.
You know what? This is a dream of mine.
Yeah, mine too, actually. No, but look, I've reassembled myself.
How are you doing? How are you guys doing over there?
I'm doing fine. Paul, how are you?
Oh, not bad.
Okay.
Paul, where are you? You seem like you're in a
I'm at my
dreamscape.
I'm at my virtual beach.
At first, I thought you were in like a high school dance, just an empty high school dance.
Much music dance party.
Electric Circus.
I love that.
No, I'm at home.
That's the wig that we used in the
That's right.
The Mouth Congress documentary.
Continuity, pulling all the strings together.
That's right.
That little girl is probably a teenager by now.
Probably. It's good that they canceled the premiere.
Yeah, we were supposed to do the premiere at the Kingston Film Festival.
We were just before,
and then that's when COVID hit.
The very beginning, right? Because you were on the train, weren't you? You just got off the train from Kingston.
I was supposed to open for Sean Cullen as well, so I just did my tech, and then while we were doing tech, they told us that the show was canceled.
That was that weekend. That weekend that everything just crumbled.
Yeah,
it was
2 months ago.
Yeah, the long weekend that's still going on.
Has the Mouth Congress documentary been aired anywhere? Shown anywhere?
No.
Oh
What makes it brilliant.
It's really good.
It's a masterpiece because it'll never be seen. It's The Clown Cried. What is it?
Okay, so for those of the people that are watching that don't know what we're talking about, what's Mouth Congress?
Mouth Congress was the band that Paul and I fronted when we were kids. And
how old are we talking, kids?
A long time ago, like the 80s.
Like 20s.
Right.
20s, the 20s.
During the last epidemic.
Yeah. And Paul and I were working That's like walks. And you know, we had a band. We were in a punk band, and yeah, so we were two openly gay singers in the AIDS era. So we weren't very successful.
And something weird happened recently with Mouth Congress, right?
Paul, you take it over. We were discovered 3 years ago.
Oh yeah. You know, my bass player Gord Disley said you should put everything up on Bandcamp, which I'd never heard of. So I did. I took his advice, and we sold virtually nothing. In fact, my biggest buyers were Scott and Tom King. It's true.
I confess later. It was
Yeah.
me. I'm all those people.
Oh, you're all those people. And a guy from
I discovered us.
A guy who runs a record company in Brooklyn, New York called Captured Tracks found it and sent me an email and said, you know, we just released Ben Stiller's punk album when he was a teenager.
It was the talk of 2019.
Yeah. And we'd like to, you know, do business with you guys. So I was thrilled. So that's what we did. They actually, I'll show you.
That's our single.
This is our single.
Yeah. It's supposed to come on International Record Day or Singles Day.
What's the song? What's the song called?
Tactile. Here's the beautiful part: is that it is on.
Oh wow!
Transparent vinyl.
That's cool.
So it already looks like a gold record.
Well, I think we have the music video for Tactile lined up, right, Dan?
We do. Oh, can we tell a little story? Or are you?
Yeah. We'll come back. How about we come back? We'll show Tactile, and we'll come back and talk a
What we
bit.
managed to do in isolation.
This is Made in Isolation, Tactile, everybody.
Sitting in the street being Oscar Wilde. I was always a feminine child, running from the boys, the ones who were wild. They don't know when to go, not to mention surface tension. Sitting in the street writing poetry, dirty verse about you and me. I don't need a lobotomy. They don't know when to go, not to mention surface tension. Tactile, touch me. Tactile, touch me. In the tree of Jane Silvery, I like her and she likes me. Touch her things and we are free. She don't know where to go, not to mention surface tension. Tactile, touch me. Tactile, touche. All I think about is sin. Makes me happy, makes me spin. They don't know where to go, not to mention surface tension. Tactile, touch me. Tactile, touch me.
It's so
That's
good.
Just amazing.
That song live is so good too. Like I went to the Mouth Congress show at the Rivoli, and it was like I said to people over and over again, that was the best show I saw all year. And then I remember being like, you guys should do that more often. And you were like, no way. That was like really hard.
And they cleaned up the two songs in the single, and they sound great. It's unbelievable. When Paul was dying in the hospital, I snuck it into the ICU and played it to him through his headphones. Remember, Paul?
Yes, you applied it intravenously.
What happened, Paul? What happened? There was a close call there.
Oh, I went in for hernia surgery, and on the second night, the anesthetic was so good that I vomited in my sleep, and of course breathed in my own vomit, which you suffocate.
Oh my
So
God.
I had to be resuscitated like a drowning victim, and I spent 12 days in hospital. What happened was the lack of oxygen when I aspirated caused kidney failure. So it was a chain reaction of all these horrible things.
And we were worried about you there. And then you made like this full recovery and you're like back to better than ever, it looks like.
Yeah, it was weird because the anesthetic was so good. I had no idea what was even going on.
We had no idea. We flew from all over the world to be with them. It
Just
was
a dream.
It was something. It was, but we have Paul back.
We did.
For better or worse.
And hernia free.
And you know what, world? Deal with it. Sorry.
Did you have
not over?
Did you have a specific story you wanted to tell before we were going to the music video, or was it just?
Well, no, just how we made it. Oh yes, how we made it. Because we were so heartbroken over the movie not being, our documentary not being shown, and then our single not going to be released that day. Although they are going to release it now in August. And our album, our album is still going to come out. It's called Waiting for Henry. But I said to Paul, we should just make a tactile video because it's all about touching and how people need to be touched. And it's so perfect for this era. So we came up with this idea of each of us doing it in front of our green screen. And I discovered, was it Dan, you who pointed out that the green curtain around my balcony was green. And so I could fucking be anywhere. So and then Paul edited it and put them together. And I'm so thrilled by it. It's perfect for me. Actually, I think even if Mouth Congress becomes huge breakout star, and they want to release Tactile in a huge multi-million dollar spectacular video, I'd say no. We have the video. Thank you.
This is it.
This is it. It's so DIY. There we go. But
I might as well do this. I wanted to congratulate you on the whole Kids in the Hall thing coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did your writer's room and it went well.
It was it's been quite a ride.
But what a weird time to do a writer's room, right?
Well, we made, and I think that once we might be blamed for this whole thing because they made the announcement and literally a week later, they fell apart.
Just classic. Classic.
It was classic. Classic Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
What's the death toll this time? Approaching 1 million, mother.
Well, listen, thanks so much for doing the show, and those videos were great. But while I got you here, let's bring Ron Hawkins in, shall we?
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. I think you guys did a show together once. Hey, Ron.
A long time ago.
Hey, yeah. In fact, I was going to say, what a strange serendipitous situation, because I think I might have played my very first ever solo acoustic gig in a club with Mouth Congress, or I know Scott for sure and Paul were there.
Absolutely.
Paul
I do remember that. Yes.
That's so.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I also was almost a professional golf ball player.
Yeah, well, that dream's been just shattered now.
Scholarship. I was on a full scholarship.
Small world. We all did stuff at the Rivoli, guys.
Yeah, because it's the only place that will take comedians.
Yeah, totally. But are you gonna play some songs for us tonight?
I am. I figured I would play 2 songs that are basically about loneliness. I don't know if that's a good or a bad idea, but
hey,
that's all our sketches are about.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. We had maybe like a couple questions for you, Ron, if that's okay.
Yeah, shoot.
Josh, what's up?
Golf ball is a game with a ball.
That
was literally gonna be my question. Ron, Shakespeare My Butt is 30 next year, which I realized both when I realized that The Lowest of the Low and a lot of your music was a large part of my early years. But do you guys have like plans for a 30th anniversary? I know you guys did a 20th tour, but
no, we actually did like a 24th anniversary.
Really?
Which was so amazingly Lowest of the Low to do something like a 24th anniversary. And everybody we talked to said, well, why don't you just wait a year? And we're like, because we don't want to. We're excited about it right now. It took 24 years for us to get this excited, and now we're going to do it on the 24th year. So it went really well, and we started it actually in Kingston at the Toucan. I don't know if you probably would have done your after party at the Toucan.
Okay.
The film festival.
Uh-huh.
A place that we used to play all the time, and our agent was like, "You can't do that." He's like, "You can't play a 50-seat bar." And so again, sort of very, very lowest of the low. This I imagine would be very Kids in the Hall as well. We started in a 60 person bar at the Toucan because we always used to play there, and we ended at Massey Hall. So it was like that was the line. Basically, like if we had more than 8 fingers to stick up at our agent, we would have, but we only had 8.
That's very nice.
Well, that leads me to my other question, which was, what's your favorite tour experience? Like, you've been on so many different ones, and I'm sure most people ask you, like, what's your favorite band to tour with? But like, what was the best tour? Forget the band, just experience wise.
Well, from what I remember of this one, we're probably the band who went to South by Southwest in 2003 or 2004, and it was when the band was kind of spiraling out. Like these guys, we started off in like the punk thing, and the last thing we ever would wanted to have become were rock stars, but we sort of spent 3 years having everybody telling us we were geniuses, and they never said no to us and everything. So we wound up going to South by Southwest. We got billeted with 2 college women, and so there's 4 of us. This is how insane it was. We brought our sound man, which is one thing, but we brought our monitor man. And so we had a guy at the side, just doing monitors. We flew him down to Austin as well. You don't need to do that.
Right.
So we partied for 2 days, and basically I phoned our manager and said, "I'm so sorry, we lost the thread. Our showcase was horrible." And when we were going to leave, I was never usually the voice of reason, but I was the guy who said, "Oh my God, don't we have to be on a plane in like 25 minutes?" So we grabbed our clothes and we went to the airport. And walking through the airport, our very tall Newfie soundman, Brian, 6 feet tall, sat in the window of one of those restaurants that has the sort of fake balsa wood French windows, and went right into the restaurant. And then there were police everywhere. And then we were talking to them, and they were trying to arrest us in Texas. And then our manager somehow managed to talk them out of, he said, "Look, let them on the plane, and then they're Canada's problem." And so we got on the plane, but they had cars with cherries on the tarmac until we left.
That's
and
what managers are for.
We were told we're never allowed back in Texas again. So that's not a good tour story, but it's a great tour story. It's not a very good tour experience. It's 0 for our careers, but it's my favorite tour story for sure.
That's amazing. Yeah. Hey, this is a question I have for you. You might not have had this question in a long time, but after this, we'll get into the music. The first album called Shakespeare Our Butt, how did that album title come to be? Because all the rest of the albums seem more serious, a little more serious, and then that one's kind of like Shakespeare Our Butt,
Here's a story about how little growth there is in adult indie rock musicians, which is that so in 1990, probably end of 1990 or 1991, we were making that record, and we were sitting around trying to come up with a name, and not unlike Lowest of the Low, which at the time everybody thought was a horrible name, but it was the first name we came up with kind of as a joke, and then we came up with about 70 other names and circled back. I guess it's that, right? Lowest of the Low. So at some point, somebody saw, I think our bass player had a poster of Old England and Shakespeare's England, I think it said, and somebody said, "What does that say?" It says Shakespeare's butt. And then and I always had a thing about not wanting to be taken seriously as a poet or something, like something you can only care about when you're 25 years old.
Right.
And so I said, "No, it says Shakespeare my butt." And so then everybody was like, "Oh, that sort of fits the vibe, our sort of anti, I don't know, what, our anti vibe." And so we sort of settled on it. And then it kind of followed us as this, again, sort of horrible / kind of cool, whatever. It wound up being kind of cool because it was attached to that record. So flash forward 30 some odd years later, and Warner wanted to make a box set for us. And at some meeting, I said, "Hey, it should be called Shakespeare in My Box." And everyone went, "Oh my God." And I was like, no, that's a joke. That was a joke. No. In My Box. So the stupidest idea rules in our band. It's like whoever says the stupidest thing seems to wind up being the thing that's on the front of the covers.
That's awesome. It's really not that much different from a comedy sketch troupe. You're right. That's exactly how it works.
Except we're just like a comedy sketch troupe, except we're funny.
And we're very good at music. So
I know, I've seen these guys. As I say, I played with these guys. I've seen them in action.
Oh, so funny. Well, thanks for doing the show, Ron. So nice of you. We don't really know each other, but now we do officially. And thank you so much for saying yes to this, because I love your music, and I'm super excited to share it with my friends who are watching.
No problem. And also for your friends, that's Tommy Douglas behind me. And I do a thing every Tuesday called Tommy Douglas Tuesdays, because I figure it's wonderful right now to live in the country with socialized medicine. So I've been doing a show, it's a free show every Tuesday, 8:00.
It's great. That's what I've been watching you on it, and songs are great. And I like your little guy at the beginning with the sign.
The technology is good with the technology here, so that's a bonus.
Hey man, you're doing it the right way. You got to use what's in the room,
Yeah.
So we're gonna turn off our cameras. We're gonna give you the show right now, and thanks so much again.
All right, cheers, man. Ask the question, well, am I on the blacklist? Or how long can this go on? And if I pull, will you resist? Are you the bleeding Christ? And now am I the Mongol dog? Well, if I knew you were so far gone, I would run right out in, fight you follow. But then again, you were always kind of the lonely one, but kind of the lonely one. I met an old friend yesterday, he's gone to Vancouver. So drunk the night he left, he was too drunk to recover. Now I'm thinking old bones, yeah, I'm thinking old bones. If I knew you were so far gone, well, I'd have run right out and might be followed. But then again, you were always kind of the lonely one, kind of the lonely one. I'm kind of the lonely one, you can try. Yeah, if I knew you were so far gone, yeah, I'd have run right out here, but it's the bottle. And then again, you were always kind of the lonely one, kind of the lonely one, kind of the lonely one. That's one, Dan. One down.
It was a good one.
Thanks, man. At least your voice is out of nowhere. It's the hidden voice. This one's called Peace and Quiet. Be the tragic one. I saw your ghost in Kensington. The sly sentry of the alleyway. A wounded soldier from the bad old days. And it took me somewhere I haven't been for years and years. Old appetites like souvenirs. Well, I turned around, you disappeared into a street steeped in silence. Of sweet peace and quiet. The lights never go down. 1,000 shooting stars in Chinatown. Reflected in your eyes, electric blue. A kiss lingers like a deja vu.
till our lovers crash and echo under the overpass, laughing beneath their memories, a million colliding destinies. Who stay in the street, pierce the silence of the sweet peace and quiet. Because the dish rag sky without change the weather, deep down your widest eyes. And I said never, and even though we lie, this will we stay this way forever. Oh, forever. Oh, forever. Oh, forever, ever, 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 ever. Is it funny how you seem just like a rumor now? A conversation that I overheard, a frail echo of a foreign word. And is it funny or sad? Sometimes we just walk away. No bittersweet remembrance day. Why do you think we do that? Would you get free? Peace and quiet. Out of cheese. Peace and quiet. If you don't, why despise? Say never. If you don't, why despise? Time will change the weather. Oh, this time we'll get it right. Yeah, this time you get it right.
Ron Hawkins, everybody. Oh, thanks, Ron. I really appreciate that. Love that song.
Thanks.
What's the name of that last song you played there?
Peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet. There it is. I took the hint when I interrupted in the middle, and you were like, "This next song's called Peace and Quiet." I was like, you gonna mute the mic there?
Dan won't remember this.
No.
Such a showbiz host. You're like, you gotta keep that show moving.
No, you're right. I'm trying to do that. Let's bring everyone back out who has their camera and still here. There's
That was amazing, man.
Thank you so much for watching the show, everybody out there. Thanks to everyone that did the show. Thanks to Ron Hawkins, Scott Thompson, Paul Bellini, Holly Prazoff, Joe Wengert, Chris Locke, Aisha Alpha. Thanks to Dan Tamizian behind the switches. Thanks to Josh Finkelman for being the voice of the show. Thanks to Michelle Lost Beauty for your donation, Barb Brownlee for your donation. And like I said, if you want to share these shows, they're every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Please join us. We have another great show next week. And yeah, it's on Twitch, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, all the things. So you can check us out there. And yeah, please feel free to share this when we're done too. So thanks again, and stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Watch
See you
those
later.
games.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.